It was the decade of the 1930s. The world was undergoing a massive economic crisis in form of the Great Depression, which had slowly spread all around the world, resulting from the stock market crash in the USA. Countries attempted to shore up their threatened economies by fortifying themselves and sharply raised their barriers by drastic devaluation of their currencies and curtailment of the financial freedom of their citizens. But these attempts proved to be self-defeating, as they led to a huge decline in world trade and disruption of international monetary cooperation. Employment and living standards dropped immensely in many countries around the world, creating a desperate scenario. Following this breakdown, the IMF was founded with an aim to prevent further Great Depressions as also wars by overseeing the international monetary system and encouraging global trade. The multinational NGO of IMF came formally into existence in December of 1945, based on the American plan created by Harry Dexter White, one of the two founding fathers of the organization. White worked with co-founder John Maynard Keynes, whose British Treasury plan for the IMF had initially competed with White's American plan. The American Party foresaw IMF to be like a bank, making sure that borrowing states could repay their debts on time. And this plan was finally chosen as 29 founding member countries signed its Articles of Agreement. The IMF opened its first headquarters in Washington, D.C. in 1946, where it continues to exist as of date. Its mission today focuses on working to foster global monetary cooperation, secure financial stability, facilitate international trade, promote high employment and sustainable economic growth, as well as to reduce poverty around the world. As is evident from its mission statement, IMF is expected to play a meaningful role towards tackling various problems. Its present programs include surveillance, lending, technical assistance, and research. The features of these programs include availability of assistance to member countries only, an objective to help member countries to strengthen their economic capacity, and a set of conditions accompanying the loans. With 187 member countries in its list, IMF is active today with its programs in the countries shown on this map. It derives its funds from a number of options that include the quota system contribution from member countries, its gold holdings, its borrowing arrangements, and its specific concessional lending and debt relief funds. Majority of the funds for IMF loans are provided by member countries, primarily through their payment of quotas, which are based broadly on each country's relative size in the world economy. With regard to the performance and success of IMF in terms of achieving its goals, it is quite a mixed bag. While it has done extensive work in many countries and made some significant achievements, the IMF was expected to be much more effective in addressing all of its goals and fairer towards unprivileged and less powerful countries. A case in point illustrating the success of IMF in nudging a nation towards sustainable economic growth and financial stability is the current transformation of West African nation Mali. Through the technical assistance offered by it, IMF provided practical help to Mali to get its economy and financial system back on track. Utilizing its knowledge, experience, and experts, IMF helped Mali adopt the best practices in form of a three-pronged strategic plan. However, there are many instances of complaining nations that included varying stories of Rwanda, Jamaica, Pakistan, Thailand, and many more, who found it hard to repose their confidence in IMF's real intentions or performance. An example is the story of Jamaica, a nation which got trapped in the vicious debt trap cycle following loan agreement with IMF. Not only did IMF attach unfriendly conditions to the loan, but it also made wrong recommendations. There was decline in local agriculture and farmers were put out of business. Influx of foreign goods led to suffering of Jamaican industries such as the milk industry. The banana producers ran out of business owing to huge companies like Chiquita and Dole entering the barrier-free Jamaican market. People turned to crime resulting from the poverty as a consequence of loss of jobs. The only way out for the nation was to be rescued by further loans that came with further stricter conditions, thus leading it to be trapped in the vicious cycle of debt. As a result, people felt cheated and manipulated. Some critics even say that though this organization is meant to promote economic growth and reduce poverty, its priorities lie in serving the capitalists by creating poverty and underdevelopment. In conclusion, I would say that IMF is unsuccessful overall in its role as it fails to secure financial stability and promote high employment and sustainable economic growth for all. It has also been unable to achieve one of its major goals of reducing poverty, which in fact in some cases is being created rather than removed owing to its actions.